Okay. Well, good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Mind, Body, Spirit weekly online meetup and networking group. My name is Liz Garcia. I'm founder of the Mind, Body, Spirit Network, and I help conscious solopreneurs reimagine, uplevel, and leverage their online marketing efforts at a whole new level. So you can stop floundering around, try to do it all on your own, and have everything be a disaster because you're not a designer and you're not a marketer. So the network is here just to take you in wherever you are at in your marketing efforts and bring you in at a whole new level. So then you can launch from there and feel good about it. That's what we do here. Today is our we do this monthly, open forum Q&A mastermind. And everyone here is welcome to ask a question, any type of question they have about their business, any ideas they want to share, get some feedback. And I want everyone here to participate. It's not all about me answering the questions, about everyone contributing to the answer to those questions. And John already started us off this morning, so I'm going to start with John. So John, if you could briefly introduce yourself again and then ask that question, we will all give you some input as to where you might begin.
Well, I really appreciate it. Thank you so much, Liz. My name is John Mason. I'm calling in from Bellingham, Washington. Several years ago, I began a project called Masters of the Journey, which is a community, a non-religious community that supports people that are developing consciousness and their spiritual side. We developed a website, mastersofthejourney.com. And my question today is, I want to know how we can make conscious efforts, active efforts and not passive efforts, to help promote the blogs and the video libraries that we're developing. I have a whole series of interviews with people, and I'd love to share that as a resource with people. And the blogs that I've been writing for the last couple of years have really been based around spiritual consciousness and how to really listen to people in the world, to communicate more effectively, and to move into states of awakening or awareness. So what are the efforts that I could do besides just having the SEO or the tags that I put onto my blogs and onto my videos? What can I be doing consciously to get it out there in the world, to have people pay attention, watch it, maybe support it and comment on it?
So if anyone has answers or they'd like to provide feedback, just raise your hand and then you can unmute yourself so we don't talk over each other. Does there anyone here like to contribute to that or have some ideas? Connie, you always have good ideas. Do you have any? You let me know if you have any today.
I'll try.
Okay.
Do you have a Facebook group?
Wait a minute, I didn't hear that. What?
Facebook group or any kind of discussion group?
Yes, we have a Facebook group. It's an international group, but I would say that most of the people that are participating are local to me in Bellingham.
I find it's really helpful to develop any kind of community group, either by Zoom or Facebook group. I love Zoom meeting, and I combine Zoom group and Facebook group. And when you keep the community active, I think people really start getting involved.
Great. And
I agree.
I was going to say, excuse me, I was going to say, we have a bunch of meetup groups focused on the Masters of the Journey that are around the country, and I have lots of people signing up, but not that many participating. So we're reaching out to people around the country and around the world, and that's the kind of effort I'm consciously making. Is, are there any other ways that I can do that besides going door to door and knocking on people and telling them who we are and what we're doing?
Lynn? Oh, look at that cute little blue hand. I haven't seen that before. I love that. Go ahead, Lynn.
Well, I wasn't sure whether you meant like raise your hand.
Yeah, either one.
Raise your hand. So I love what Kana said about Facebook group, because we know that the Facebook algorithm is making group right up there with our friends. And so content sharing on the group, and then encouraging people in the group to share some of that content out, right? So encouraging people who are active in the group to take those videos and that content library and share it out and invite people back into the group, so that you're generating more new people come into the group. I love what you said about Meetup too. I've been using Meetup for my, I have a series with a business partner of personal development events, and Meetup, the great thing about Meetup is it draws people to you, but so we had an event last week, last month, we had 35 people on the Meetup say they were coming, and we ended up with about 20. So what I have found is, and I think that's actually a fairly good percentage, but you have to really communicate with those people in the Meetup. It's almost like you have to use the Meetup to get them to you, but then it's almost like now you have to go the door to door, like you were saying, John, and really communicate with those people to engage them and get them to show up. And if you're having meetups scheduled all around the country for the masters of the journey, then maybe you probably already have this, but maybe I was thinking just have one person in that meetup take ownership of launching it, right, in that community, like having a launch master, or a journey master in each of those communities that will help drive engagement, was the other thought I had while you were talking.
Great. Well, thank you very much. And I am working on that. My meetup in Boulder, I thought I had a leader for that and had spent a lot of time developing that. And then that fell apart. So I've got a group in Boulder, I don't know, it's over 100 folks, and I don't have somebody on the ground doing that. And that's one of the reasons, Liz, why I'm going to be out driving around and spending a little bit of time seeing if I can come to Boulder and maybe be on the ground and do something a little bit more active to get it going.
Yeah.
But thank you so much.
So I lived in Denver for 2 years, and Meetup is huge in Denver. Everything under the sun is done on Meetup. And I find the most successful meetups are really engaged in communication. So Meetup is a great platform to send emails. And if I'm on Meetup and I say, yeah, you can send me emails. I want to see when new groups come in, and when there's new events from the ones that I'm a part of, I get the email. So make sure you're writing an email for each event, so you're really communicating the value and what people can expect. You got to remember, you got to think about the me. What's in it for me? And you got to clearly communicate that and do it regularly. You can't, run a meetup and not do an email for it. And then you want to encourage people during the meetup. Hey, if you have any questions you want to share with the group, share it in Meetup, because when people comment in Meetup after a meeting, I get it in my email. So you got to realize that's pretty powerful, that Meetup is an awesome marketing tool when you know how to use it. And I'm a marketer, so I observe what's going on with Meetup. I'm like, holy crow, there's a lot of opportunity here to leverage community in Meetup, because Meetup's doing a lot of marketing for you. You just need to become aware of it, and you have to you got to brand that Meetup, John. You've got to really get clear on what it is, how it's going to benefit them, the user, and then speak it consistently. Now, back to sharing, because we're talking about sharing, but Meetup is a fantastic tool if it's used. If it's a predominant force in your community, you want to use it. It's awesome. But the most successful meetups are consistently communicating a new message every time they're having a meetup, and they're doing follow-up communications as well, and they're inviting people into the Facebook group. So one that I have has a very active Facebook group and meetup. They go hand in hand. So I have found we were talking about sharing content. And sharing content is huge online when you have really good content to share. And I have found with my group, we do monthly book reviews. We're doing now on Zoom video, where my members come in and they share a book that they would recommend to whoever's watching it. And after we create the video, there's usually anywhere from 3 to 6 of us on the video. I post it to Facebook, I upload it to Facebook, I create a blog for it. And then while I'm on Facebook, I tag everyone in the video and I say, hey, share this. And when I do that, we have like 400 views of that video in a week. That's big.
Wow.
It's a lot. It's a lot of great visibility. So you got to use that multiplier like Lynn was talking about, leverage. John, if you have great content and you want to share it with the Mind, Body, Spirit Network, you know, as an example, you got to partner. This is where partnership is helpful, you know. So when we do our book reviews, like Deborah is always doing a book review with us. She already has a posse growing around her. She reshares it with them. They already know her. They want to see her. Same with Cheryl Murphy. She's got a big Healing Prayer Circle group. She's probably got, I don't know, a couple thousand people on that thing now. That's where you start to get leverage, sharing that content. But let me just say something, John, about blogs, because you write very good blogs. However, you got to capture me in that first paragraph, and anybody else for that matter, because you're asking for a lot of someone's attention to review it and then share it. And if someone's busy, that's a little challenging. The video would be easier to share as long as you're capturing me in that first minute of that video. So you got to remember, if you want other people to share, and they have to, I don't want to share with my community if it's garbage. Not that it would be, but I'm just saying in general, people will send you garbage. You're like, don't waste my time with garbage. And I'm not talking about you. I'm just talking in general, John, that you got to keep in mind that you're asking someone for their attention and to share it with their audience who they value. So you got to find good partners to help with that sharing part of it. Another thing I highly recommend, and this really has to do with vibrational alignment, is to be clear on who you want to show up at those meetups. Be clear as to what the intention of those meetups are. I mean, you can have it out here and thinking about it, but you're writing it down, you put it on paper, you read it. And I'm finding this with myself. This is vibrational alignment. You got to keep getting into the groove, because otherwise you fall out of it and you're floating around up here. So I have all my branding positioning statements for my websites and my businesses, and now I'm gonna do it with this meetup group too. I want to brand it. I want to be clear about who we are, what we do. And that energetically, I mean, that is huge. You got to remember, you can't be floundering out here guessing. Put a stake in the ground and decide what you are and clearly identify what you want that group to look like. That's leveraging power. And do it with an open heart and a lighthearted heart. I'm listening to a lot of Law of Attraction these days. I'm like, you can't help but, it's all common sense, and it's requiring that you take responsibility for how you feel and how you think. So if you want those meetup groups to fill up, you need to really map it out and feel it out. Like, ooh, this is how it feels. This is how it looks. This is what I want. And then get the heck out of the way. Like, oh, I don't deserve that though. The old turn it around. I don't deserve that though. Don't do that. That won't help. All right, let's move on to other questions. Who else has questions today? Lynn, did you say you had a question today? Yeah, please.
So I'm Lin Schussler-Williams. I'm a sales coach, speaker, author, and legal shield rep. So I wear lots of hats. And so 3 pillars to my business: sales coaching, personal development, products and events, and leadership. So in the personal development, products and events category, about 3 years ago, I was all ready to launch some of the content that I have. I have tons of content. online as courses and that sort of thing. And I just kind of reined it in and said, yeah, I'm going to like focus somewhere else for a little while. And I've gotten really clear messages, really clear this spring that it's time to be sure I am leveraging, Liz, our word for the day,
Yes.
leveraging my content. I have all this content. I have full coursework done, you know, audio, PDF workbooks, you know, the whole bit, like ready to just kind of really close to almost just upload and put it out there. And so, you know, God help me, I'm ready. And so not ready, right? That's the big that you do. And so, it's a little bit about platform for me. So I've been talking, I have a friend who uses, I don't know if anybody's familiar with the Builderall platform, and it has landing pages and websites and course upload stuff and all in one place and really inexpensive, and you can just go do it. And then I've looked at Jigsaw Box. I've been a subscriber to that for years, and you know, all of these different ways of approaching it. And so I have Facebook groups. I have, you know, like it's ready to just kind of plug in. And so if anybody's done this, if anybody's already like down that road and has some, oh God, don't do this moments or whatever, I would love to have just any connections people have to like thinking about it. I'm all about how to think about it, that sort of stuff.
Does anyone here have some input for Lynn? I'm going to chime in otherwise. No? Okay. All right. So you've developed the course, or is it video, or what is it, Lynn?
Some of the modules have videos, some modules have audio like MP3s. They all have what I call a guidebook page or two for each. So I don't call it a workbook, but a guidebook.
Okay.
So there are multiple modules to a course, and each module has guidebook, either audio or video or both.
Okay. Have you done any, now will that include some one-on-one or group kind of live stuff as well, or this is all self-directed teaching?
So the course itself is self-directed, but one kind of thing I had heard was like offer each module or each chunk as a separate thing, and then offer it all at once with a discount if you get it all at once, right? And then the other thing I felt like was correct was if you do the all at once and you get the whole thing, you get, you know, like a one-on-one session with me as well. As part of that. That was kind of the formula I was looking at. Yeah.
I was going to suggest the same thing, Lynn, because do you have, if you don't have much of a following online yet, you got to start with small, simple modules, because the setup is extensive. It's very time consuming, and you want to test one little piece at a time before you dive into the whole Facebook ad, sales funnel, email, blah, blah, blah. It's a lot of, pardon my friend, effing work. Okay. Doesn't have to be. But I'm just saying your first one is going to be, you got to kind of feel your way through the first one. So if you're, do you have much of a mail list?
I have probably 800 on a mail list.
Okay.
I have more social media people. I have 2,500 on LinkedIn and a couple thousand on Facebook. And I have 2 separate Facebook pages, business pages. I have 2, and they both, one has like 1,800 and one has probably 1,000.
Are they for the same audience?
Similar. One is the sales coaching, one is more transformational.
Oh, okay.
So, but they would both be interested in personal development topics. So that's kind of the personal development topics goes both to my sales coaching people because they're interested in that, and to transformational people, which I have a ton of them on my list too.
Okay. So you might want to try testing, like set up a simple program, like just the step one basic class, and try selling it through email to your list. Email is purportedly the most effective way to sell. This is where you're going to sell, not in Facebook ads. Facebook ads are for brand awareness and leads, not selling. So you have a decent sized list right now. I would craft a launch of one of the classes. And you don't really have a, you have a good sized list, but you kind of need,
it's not very targeted either. It's
not targeted
all over the place. No, yeah. I don't think so.
Okay.
It's because I have a huge network, so it's like people I know from all kinds of things.
Facebook is the best place to get targeted, I have to say.
Yeah.
I feel, I can get really, have you done any Facebook ad campaigns at all?
Not in a long time. I've done them before.
Okay.
But I never felt like I was good at the targeting. I knew it could, but I even got help like from social media people to do that. And I just felt like we never, kind of reached who I needed to reach with it.
Okay. Targeting does require, you just got to think about it. You got to really imagine your end user and be in their shoes and figure out how am I going to get to them.
Right.
So like for me, I target people that have the job description of, holistic healer, Reiki, whatever, any type of alternative life coach, those types of people.
Right.
I target them, but then you got to kind of refine that. And I can target people that have an affinity for online marketing, so you really get deeper. Or for you can target it to people who have actually taken classes online before. So they already have an affinity for doing that. So you have to think through what is it that you're asking them to do? What is your offer? And make sure that they'll even use the internet, first of all, for this purpose. So that's kind of just an idea. And you can refine it by household income and things like that, refine it further. So that's a place to start. And I would definitely start with that first class to see,
Do you think it's the one module? Like, are you saying, because the one piece of advice I got said, okay, if you have a whole course that's 10 modules, like chunk it down into one module classes at a time. So are you saying like start with module 1?
Or whatever you think.
Start with the course.
I wouldn't do the whole course. That's too much to digest from someone they don't know.
Yeah.
Like, yes, Deborah, go ahead.
I was thinking it might be good to take what you're calling a module and reframe it so it's a course.
Yeah.
So instead of, saying module 1 of this whole course, just take the title of that and just start with that little piece so that you can get that experience of that funnel. And actually you can market each of those modules individually. And at some point when you start getting more experience, then maybe package them as a big thing.
Right.
Yeah. So you got to build your brand, Lynn, and make sure you've got really tight branding on you and that course. Right. Because I want it, it's got to be easy to share and memorable. And, I just rebranded one of my websites just as an example. And when I tell people this tagline, they're like, that's easy to remember and share. So the website is called theathenaarena.com, and I'm rebranding it as we speak. And my tagline is supercharge your business with a Wonder Woman brand.
I love it.
Nice.
It's super memorable, right?
Totally.
And the name of the website is like the Athena Arena. You got to think about how can this be memorable and shared, and really, you know, that's good branding. And I'm going to pat myself on the back for that one.
Yes.
Because you got to grab somebody's attention, because there's so much stuff online. How are you going to grab it?
Yeah.
Right. And then that
Yeah.
first course has got to be, you know, I read this book. It's called Badass Your Brand. P.S. Silva. She's becoming pretty well known for this book, Badass Your Brand. And I love her approach to getting really tight on who that audience is. And she's like, you don't want everyone to be your client. I want someone
Right.
who's going to woman up and not be afraid of being a Wonder Woman. You know, you got to have courage to be Wonder Woman. If you don't, I don't want you. I'm not that cold, but I'm just saying, you know, I want to be clear. You're serious about putting a stake in the ground. This is what I'm saying. This is, I'm calling out my audience. You got to think about, how am I going to call them out? And be daring. She's like, be daring. You don't want everyone under the sun. You want who you want. And
Yeah.
I'm like, I agree.
That's a great thought for me to hear today. There's no mistake that you said that, because I had been renaming this course, and because the name it used to have was so kind of soft, we'll say.
Yeah.
And so, and I was going for more like, no, damn it.
Yes.
Right? Like, yeah. So that's good for me to hear.
Okay, good. Because we all need to do this. There's way too many people with doing everything under the sun without putting a stake in the ground to say, this is what my results are. This is what you're going to get from me. Right? I'm a powerful healer.
Right.
You know, that unto itself is enough. It's like, oh, you know, so you got to really speak to who you want to drag in there. Now, I don't want to take too much more time on this topic, Lynn, but because it's a big topic, sales funnels, and this is what you want to do. This is what I'm doing myself as we go along. So I'll share with you my journey. Okay. Who else? Lori, you said you had questions. If we can actually hear you. Let me unmute you. You do. Let's have a question from you, my dear.
Well, I have two brands that I'm trying to develop currently. One is starting a private practice in Aspen. And I need to get clients. So on my current brand of LoriLynnSpencer.com, I have, did I say on my current brand? On my current website, I have about 6 brands. I covered everything that I want.
That's a problem right there. You don't have, you need one brand, Lynn.
I know. Okay. So now what I'm thinking is, okay, I need to create a standalone website that I wanted to do through a like free building platform like Wix or 123 or one of those.
Okay.
Why are you crinkling your nose?
You could have a one-page website in the network and be way better off than doing that. That's all I'm saying. That's okay. Go ahead.
Really?
Keep going. Yes.
So, well, then I would prefer to do that.
Yes.
But
I highly recommend it.
So I'm just trying to figure out, because my task list today is to formulate a new site, because even on my painexpert.com, my LoriLynnSpencer.com, I've done all the content writing and everything else and just had a designer put it together. So I'm trying to just figure out really how to, well, let me back up. First of all, I was thinking that I need a name for the practice. I was going to call it Last Stop Massage, because that's what everyone always says to me. I'm kind of like the last stop. They've tried all these different, practitioners and whatnot. So I thought that, and then also specializing in, say, sports massage, because I work pretty specifically with injury and chronic pain. So 2 questions. I'm trying to establish a platform of building, and that's not going to cost me a whole lot of money because it's off season and I haven't really been working a lot. So that's where I'm at.
Nice meeting you guys, and yeah, good luck.
Hold on, let me mute somebody here. So you got 2 things. Where do you want to put your attention, Lynn?
Where I want to place my attention is in the practice initially, and then consulting secondly.
Okay, so massage therapy first.
Yeah.
In
I need
Aspen.
to get my practice going.
Are you going to do that in
Correct.
Aspen? Okay.
I am across from
Okay.
the ABC,
Okay.
or not across from the airport in the ABC.
All right. So bottom line on that is, in regards to online, if you're part of the network, I'm going to get you found for that, like a layup. You'll get on page 1 of a Google search, highly likely for that particular, for massage therapy. That's the keyword phrase people are looking. Massage therapist Aspen, massage therapy Aspen, sports therapy. All of those keyword phrases are used because I've done this before for other people. However, there is a fair amount of competition on that search in Aspen too. There's a lot of massage therapists there. So,
Right. But what I do, that's the other element of me, is what I've developed, no one else is doing. I don't really have competition.
okay.
Develop my own modality.
All right. So, another
there has
thing,
to be a way to market that.
well, Lynn, you got to get clear on your branding. You know, I like the last stop idea, but I don't know how I feel about that. Does anyone else have a feeling on last stop massage, what that feels like? Yeah, Deborah?
I got a negative feeling from it right away. It's kind of like, I want your place to be so stand out and your brand to be so clearly, the benefit is so clear and your difference is so clear that you're the first stop, you're the best stop. The last stop seems, okay, this is the very last thing I want to do, but I'll do it. So I want, you know what I'm saying? I want you to be the cream of the crop instead of the last thought.
I felt the same way, Deborah. It felt like the end of the road. I'm like, okay, that's not good. I agree. Cream of the crop.
That's normally my clients, though.
For, you know, this is where branding, going through branding exercises, Lori, is helpful. You've got to get clear on everything, because you're telling me you got 6 brands. That's telling me I don't want to go near you because I have to figure it out.
Right.
You're not going to figure out what's she going to do for me. I don't want to figure it out. I want you to tell me in one sentence. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. I want you to supercharge my business with a Wonder Woman brand. There you go. And I could tell you I do digital marketing, I do social media marketing, I do brand consult, I throw all this stuff at you. Isn't that tagline a lot easier to digest than I have 6 brands?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, I thought it was a
But that's because I want to, I can consult, I can teach in corporations and all of it. So I figured I needed that all on my site, but I don't.
No, but you can boil it down. You can boil it down to the essence of who you are. And that's a process to figure that one out. And it's nice to talk with other people. Like, I'm so glad that you mentioned, right away, Deborah and I were like, no. And we're pretty, I'm a friggin' intuitive when it comes to this stuff. I'm like, no.
Okay.
So anyway, just get rid of that domain.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah,
So
I
anyway.
didn't acquire it.
So you got 2 things going on, but your bread and butter right now is massage therapy, right?
Yeah. Well, and the consulting, I have, I've just started the consulting.
All right. So you got to get clear on what that is too. And I think the massage therapy how long have you been doing massage therapy?
16 years.
Oh, wow. So the bodies talk to you, I would assume, like everybody else.
Yeah.
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 Okay. So did we answer your question or not? Were we helpful or not? I don't recommend going build a website when you can come in at a much higher level in the network and be done. I mean, massage therapists, you don't need a whole lot of online presence. You just need one that gets found. And you need good visuals and you need good language. And, you know, when people make their own websites, I'm cringe. I'm like, you don't know SEO. No one's going to find it. Do you know what SEO is? Search engine optimization?
I do. Search engine optimization.
Do you know how to do it? Lynn?
Oh gosh, no.
Okay. See, that's what I'm just saying. There's a lot to online marketing and growing your business and consulting and stuff like this. And this is just a great place for you to start. So we get you in at a good level, and then we can work together to how you're going to incorporate the consulting part of it and really getting clear on how you're going to help me. I'm in pain. How are you going to help me? And how are you going to communicate that so that I want to hire you? Yeah. Lynn, please chime in. We got to unmute you though. Oh, we're unmuting over each other. Oh, you don't have a question? Oh, okay. Look at, there's a lower hand functionality. I did not know that. Cool, that's good to know. All right, anyone else want to chime in on this topic, or does anyone else have a question? We have 10 more minutes, 11 more minutes. If anyone else has questions. Deborah, Kana, John.
I guess what I'm, oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
I guess what I'm working through right now is I want to find a good beginning free platform that has lots of connectivity, like with MailChimp, for my webinars.
Okay, so you want to do webinars.
Yep.
Well, you want to have what are you thinking?
Well, I was thinking, you know, I don't know. I just don't know. You know, some people are, you know, doing their webinars over Zoom.
Yeah.
Which, you know, that's fine, but I want something that's going to have, you know, that scheduling through MailChimp, Acuity, Google, you know, all of that kind of connectivity so that it makes everything, so that I can make everything pretty much automatic as it's going down the funnel.
Okay. I'm fairly certain that you can register for a webinar through Zoom. And there's other webinar platforms like GoToMeeting and Webinar Jam that has all that connectivity going on as well. They're more expensive. And I'm fairly certain, I suspect Webinar Jam has like landing pages and registration pages, which you then integrate with MailChimp. But I think Zoom does too.
Okay. So I guess, okay, so you like haven't really.
I've used GoToWebinar. It doesn't really do a lot of integration stuff. It's just a platform for webinars, and it was expensive.
That's what I thought, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it connected through lead pages for registration purposes, which I liked.
What would be more, do you know one that would really integrate with WordPress and PayPal and all of those things so it goes through the whole thing?
I have to check. I'm sure Webinar Jam does.
Okay.
ClickFunnels probably does as well. These are different marketing platforms.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I was just curious if you had any experience that you thought would be better than another.
Well, I use lead pages, which I like, but you still have to, and they all work with mail. They all integrate with different email marketing platforms, and they integrate with WordPress. Lead pages did. And Zoom integrates with MailChimp. Oh, no, I'm thinking Acuity. I need to look into Zoom because I don't use their registration functionality, but that could be a short-term solution for you, Deborah.
Okay.
Otherwise, you get into these funnel marketing platforms, which is fine, but they're, it's a whole different ball of wax. But
yeah, I want something, I'm trying to decide where to put it on there, but I want something that's going to be able to be, organic. It's going to be able to be evergreen, and it's going to be able to.
Oh, so you want a platform for your classes?
Yes.
Okay.
For the webinars.
Okay, so you want somewhere to host those classes where people log in and blah, blah, blah.
Right.
Okay. So that could be a standalone website, Deborah, where that all happens, which is, I like it better for branding than being a part of a marketing platform, which I'd have to look deeper into that. I'm not sure. Is anyone else here using anything like that? Kana, have you come across anything like that? Or Lynn?
Hey everybody, Andy Jenkins here. And you're
anyway, I'm gonna have to look a little deeper into that, Deborah. So, I'm looking at, I don't know if you ever looked at mindbodygreen.com. You ever heard of them?
Nuh-uh.
Okay. They're another kind of, they're doing what I'm doing, but to a greater extent, they're into hosting someone like you on their website, which is what I would want to do, where you'll create a class, we market it under the Mind, Body, Spirit Network as part of our deal. This is a class, you can have it, right? And I can host it. I can host all of the classes. And if you go to Mind, Body, Green and check out their classes, you can see what they're doing and how I would do it similarly. And you can try.
Would that be similar to like Udemy or Mindvalley?
Yeah, but you'd be branded with the Mind, Body, Spirit Network, whereas under Udemy, you're in a mixed bag of things, or you just have your own standalone website, because it requires a plugin that manages the relationships for members.
Right. Okay.
So I'm going to put this plugin in eventually where members can log in and take classes, because I would like to have that as part of the network where we host the classes on our platform, and then you could certainly take them to your own website as well. But really, it's all about how you market it. It doesn't matter where it sits, because you're driving people to a particular page. And like, as an example, if they were in the network, people would log in and they'd only access your classes, because it just shows up, and we can brand them as your classes and, or co-brand them between the two of us, whatever we want to do. But if you go to mindbodygreen.com and scroll to the bottom of that website, you're going to see the classes and how they present them. And then you can go look and see how it's formatted on their website, just to get an idea of what I'm thinking I could do. You could always do it on your own website though, as well, or with this Udemy. The thing with Udemy, some people have been using it. I'm not sure what the cost is. Have you looked at that yet?
No, I don't want to do something like that. Okay. I want everything that I'm going to be doing to be standalone. I don't want to.
Okay. Then you should have your own website, or you can do both. You can have your own website and kind of co-sell it through the Mind, Body, Spirit Network. I haven't figured out how that's going to work yet, but.
Okay.
It's a place to start, Deborah. If you want to just start with one class.
Yeah, I'll take a look at this Mind, Body, Green.
Yeah, mindbodygreen.com. Yep. And just see what you're doing.
Yeah, I'm just starting the process. I know that my next step is I want to be able to create a standalone webinar so that I can start making, more money and not have to do it with one-on-one.
Yeah. Yeah.
But again, you have to be known, but.
Yeah. It's helpful to kind of, what's the word? Sharpen your chops with one-on-one though. Because you got to feel people. Right. Yeah. Do that for a while. But yeah, you totally want to leverage that with classes. I agree. I'm all for that. Kana?
Deborah, are you using a paid version of Zoom?
A paid version of Zoom?
Pro.
Yeah, I am using Pro.
So you use the registration page, right?
No.
Oh,
If you use a Pro version, only like $17 a month, you can use their registration page. And then if you add 40 per month, you can do the webinar. And that integrates very well with MailChimp and Acuity.
cool.
Okay.
So I think it's the least extra expense yet.
Okay.
You're used to the Zoom, right? Any webinar system, many people say it's a kind of learning curve. So technology, you have to get used to the technology, so you feel a little bit.
Yeah.
In your case, you already have a good following, so why not use the Zoom? And if you need more than 100 capacity, you can add 40 more, then you can have like 1,000 or something, 1,000 or even 10,000.
Okay.
So Kana, can you get away with using their webinar registration pages at the $17 a month level or not?
Get away?
Can you still use webinar do you have access to webinar registration pages at the pro level? Do you know?
Webinar. When they call webinar, I think in Zoom case, when they call it webinar, it's a one way. So the attendees can only chat or Q&A by chat.
Oh,
But
okay.
attendees cannot be here unless you pick the, what do you call the panel.
Oh,
Other people who would,
okay.
like Liz is doing
Co-hosts
the
and stuff.
webinar, and then you call in Deborah, then you can do the webinar together.
Okay.
But attendees or who is listening or your students wouldn't be here with the screen, in the screen.
Okay.
That's, they call it webinar. So that's, you need 40 more. But if you don't mind them to be here, or ask them to shut the video down this way, and then you choose to set up to show only the people who are in the video.
Yeah.
You can choose not to show them, the other people,
Yeah.
with the setup. So I think it's the easiest way. Your next step, you can do it even tomorrow. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay. I will check into that.
I'll look at it too, Deborah, and get back to you guys on that, what it looks like, because I've done enough this type of marketing. I can see how it's going to work, and I'll get back to you on that too, just to see if it's a good bridge to the next step. Because some of these webinar jams could go around 100 to 500 a month, but if you're not ready for that, it's kind of a waste of money.
Yeah, I'm not.
Yeah.
I have a Zoom registration link into my website, my landing page, and then ask them to sign up if they want to come to the presentation for my course. So then I invite them to that kind of webinar, Zoom. So you can do the same thing if you want to sign up for my webinar, sign up here. I think that's very easy to do that.
And then when they come into the webinar, then it's going to be a live webinar, right?
Yes.
Because you're not going to be able to have a, yeah, let me check into that.
Okay.
Let me see.
If you do the Zoom.
Whoops, we lost you, Kana.
If you do the Zoom, you can play your YouTube here. You can share YouTube right now.
Well, if you have connection issues, it can be a problem though.
If I share the website now, the Chrome now.
So Deborah, you want to run webinars without being present too, right?
Right.
So Webinar Jam and Stealth Webinar, I've used Stealth Webinar before, acts as if you're live, which once you understand that people aren't live, it's kind of phony.
Yeah.
Why not just have a class?
Oh, you want to do without you being present?
Yes.
So just have a class. And
without or with?
Without. Wait, what, Kana?
Deborah want to do the webinar without being there.
Yes.
Yeah, I just want to have like, you know, okay, sign up for my free webinar on stress in the workplace.
You want
And
the
then
evergreen.
when they get there, it says starting in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then it just plays automatically.
Okay, so
It may still be a video that I made, but I'm not sitting right there, you know, and I'm not going to pretend like I'm there. I'm not going to say, join me, blah, blah, blah. I'm just going to present that as a webinar that they can take, a webinar class or a teleclass, however you want to, you know.
So Deborah, webinarjam.com and stealthwebinar.com, both of those provide that functionality. And I've used it before.
Okay.
But it's costly, no?
It's costly. It's $100 a month minimum.
No. Yeah, I'm not ready for that yet. I'm just wanting to just get the feel and start, you know?
I think you can have the same effect with a video landing page like you're doing now. You know, people say, hey, get my free Scooby-Doo, and then they just go and watch it.
Yeah.
Right.
Page, right? Just have a video.
But I guess then how do I get, if it's a paid webinar, how do I get them to watch it? How do I get
you're going to have a paid webinar?
Yeah.
Oh, that's different. That's like selling a paid class.
Yeah, but yeah, it is. But I just don't know what platform to use.
Okay, go to Mind Body Green and check out what they're doing. See if you like that.
Okay.
You still have to run marketing to it, though. You got to drive traffic to it somehow.
Okay.
All right, just so you know.
All right.
Okay, I gotta go. I have drank too much coffee and I'm having an emergency.
All right. Love you. Thank you.
We'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks, Kana. Oops. Bye.
There she goes. Bye, Deborah.
Bye.